Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. It has been quite some time, and I may or may not get into that. Probably the may not, because I don't think it is necessarily something I'm ready to talk about, but I'm back, I'm here, let's do it, let's do an episode. A whole ton has changed. Let's get into the F3 mode first of all. So first off, I think it's right around here, yeah, local difficulty 6.08, day number 49. That doesn't seem like that many. I don't think that's right. That must have been reset at some point, because I've been playing this game a ton. I also went ahead and got a new graphics card, which is the cool thing about the new Minecraft things. It tells you what the graphics card that the people have are, and I have the AMD, because I do run an AMD machine. My CPU is also an AMD. So I've got the R7 260, I think, which is a 2 gig graphics card, and for my purposes it works wonderfully, getting a solid close to 80 frames, recording at about 50 frames, and all of that wonderful jazz, considering that this world is quite intensive because of the modding that I did. In the early snapshots, let's go ahead and turn F3 off and just have a look around. Oh boy, I hope I don't die. Okay, that was good. In the early snapshots, and actually while I'm climbing back up the ladder, this would be a perfect time for me to overlay a lot of the snapshots I've taken along the way. So hint to me while I'm recording, go ahead and put those pictures in now. In the earlier snapshots, the really cool option was you could customize your world, and of course I talked about this a little bit more in depth during that first video that I ended up putting up with this new world. And so the cool thing is, once we get back up to the top, hopefully you have all seen the pictures that I wanted you to see. So hopefully we're back in reality now, and the cool thing is I customized the world, so I brought up the water level, I think 5 or 10 blocks. I changed the rates of spawning for gold, diamond, iron, things of that nature, the number of these dungeons. That took me a second to remember the word dungeon. I haven't used that in quite a while. But we also increased the number of dungeons and things like that. Basically, I wanted to make this world a lot easier for me to get diamonds, because I didn't want to have to worry about getting diamond geared out and all that kind of thing. We have conquered the Nether. We have made ourselves a nice little mob spawning platform there, which I have spent many hours AFK, and it never did what I wanted. In the picture you probably went ahead and saw that this area was quite a bit higher, quite a bit over this way, probably somewhere along those lines there, as my cursor is currently pointing out. And it is quite a bit removed at this point. I've taken quite a bit of it out. And over here we had the jungle that was going on, and I've extended the roads out in both directions here. Built a couple of things, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Went ahead and took a lot of this area out here that you can see it's raised up a little bit here. That's the word I'm looking for, raised up. And went ahead and flattened that, took out some of that jungle stuff there. We still have our cow and sheep pen, that hasn't changed. Over there, let me change the render distance to 16, and hopefully we'll get a little bit further out. Excellent, wonderful. Over here, whoa, that's a very strange glitch. I was gonna say graphical glitch, and it came out. Words aren't working well for me. I'm a little delirious today, and that's actually, I guess, why I wanted to record, so I would just say whatever, and it would be interesting. Okay, has it finally rendered in and loaded? Alright, good. No, it is still acting crazy, but over there's that little tower right there where my cursor hairs are, and that is a monster spawner for skeletons, and so we went ahead and made ourselves a nice skeleton spawner, XP farm, so we have more than enough bows, and this is the awesome bow that I've got working now. Power 5, top tier. Infinity 1, excellent. Unbreaking 3, top tier, excellent. Punch 2, not sure if that is top tier, I feel like it is. Flame 1, again, not sure if that's top tier, but I feel like it is. This can very easily be a one-shot bow, which is pretty darn cool. Thought I was going to miss that jump. That's what that noise was. Oh, here's a skelly. Alright, so let's see. So that zombie just took some damage, so he will definitely die. I don't know if you've taken damage. It depends really on the probability of the flame that you get, as well as the power. That is really the determining factor in whether or not it'll be a one-shot kill, or if it'll be a multiple-shot kill. We've also got a really cool system here. You guys, you're not very nice. I missed completely. Wow. You took a while to shoot me back. You want a duel? Got him. That's right. Get on the ground. You're dead. The really cool thing, not really cool thing, but one of the things that I've done is we have daylight sensors now that have, we'll get back into the F3 mode, and you need an open hand to do it. But if you shift and you right click and you take a look right over here, so right now it's inverted, it says power 15. You click on it, you shift and you click on it with an open hand, and you see how it has now changed to being a standard detector with a power of 0 since it's nighttime. But then if you click it again, we're at power 15, again because it's nighttime, so it inverts the signal. Really, really cool thing. So now I don't have to run the redstone that I had going on there, and we can take a look at that really quickly here. This is going to be a showy-offy episode. So I'm just going to talk, show off things that have been going on, updates and whatnot, but this I had all cleared out with redstone all over the floor. That is glowstone, not for down here, but up top, some sort of hidden or discrete lighting. But all the places where I have a little step up here, let's see if we can go ahead and find it. There it is. So right here, so you put a redstone torch at that block I just destroyed. So you'd put a redstone torch right here, and you would have the power running into and up to this block, powering that block, which would invert the signal. So then at nighttime, the light would be on, and then during the daytime, it would be off. Where did the rest of the dirt go that I... What? Did I put some dirt in places it shouldn't have been? I'm assuming I did, but I did that quite a lot, and it's fairly extensive to where it ended up going, because that is a fairly new feature for the 1.8 snapshots that we are in. Currently, we're in a 1.8 pre-release 3, and they as far as I remember, they haven't done a pre-release since they completely released Minecraft 1.0. I think that's the last time, at least in my memory, where they did a... Let's take a quick nap here. Where they did a full release. Excuse me. Where they did pre-releases before the full release. Went ahead and extended the road on down to here. We've got another modern house that's going to go in there to complement the modern house that we have going on there. So this is our wood sort of house. I'm really conflicted on that building and this building because they really don't conform at all to the modern theme that we have going on. I just decided one down to sit down and... That... Words are really hard. I decided to sit down one day and play. I think that... I don't know what I said, but that's what I decided to do anyway. And the first thing that I actually did was build that guy there. So we got this guy, and it's actually pretty cool. It took me probably a couple hours to work the design out and get all the stone brick that I needed and the wood and all that fun stuff, and then work out the bushes in the front and the hidden lighting. Oh, we're not on fancy. That's strange. Okay, so now we can see. So there's the light, sort of hidden lighting in there. I'm really torn between playing fancy versus fast, because I do prefer the fast leaves, but there are other textures that I prefer that are in the fancy settings, and it's also, I guess, a point of pride for the computer, because everybody's, well, I play on fancy things and I get 19,000 FPS, so we're sitting at 100 right now with these settings that you have seen before going on there. But went ahead and did a little bit of fun times with the flowers and the pathways and all that kind of stuff to just make it look nice. And this is my constantly smelting cobblestone into smooth stone apparatus. You know, very simple. This whole mob farm here is made out of smooth stone, and if I did not have a system like this, that would have taken more than I ever even want to think about. But of course, we're getting a ton of cobblestone from mining out the hill here. So back to what I was saying. Once again, it's a big surprise to me that I went on a tangent there, because I would never do that. Played around with the glass here quite a bit. I had a red glass, a green glass, and I finally went with a brown glass to complement the dark oak wood that we have going on for the sort of structural support towers that are here, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm definitely a fan of that. The issue is it does look very medieval, and it does not conform to the modern theme that I really had wanted to set up. It's very difficult in Minecraft to consistently have a modern theme going, just by virtue of the fact that the game really is surrendered? Wow, that's not the word at all. Centered around sort of older style buildings and things of that nature. But that was the first one that I did. Went over here and started building something along similar lines. So we can see we have the structural supports there, but I wanted to use the acacia wood because I think it's just a really, really nice looking wood to use. And this is where all of the wood stuff is located. So everything dark oak wood is in here, etc., for all the things. And we have just sort of random wood things there. We have a chest just for sticks, which perfect. I have 2 extra sticks. We can throw those in there. We have one for really miscellaneous oak items. When I built this, it was before the current one where they have just added the new types of doors. So I'm gonna have to go through and figure out the different types of doors that I really, really want to get working on. Have a snack here. I need to breed the cows because this is the last of the steak that I have, and I was for quite a while running on like 3 full stacks here, but I have since sort of been a little bit lazy on that front. Anything in the furnaces, the furnace that we need to take a look at? Not really. So our storage room here is thinning out because this is where I had the wood. Actually, I think the wood one is... No, that was the wood one right there. And I had the stone in these ones. So we still have a full thing of dirt, but we have now 2 chests that are empty. This is just a miscellaneous one where I've got one of the worst swords in the world, but I can't just take my... I just can't throw it away. I can't. I don't know why. I really just can't do it. We have quite a few... Hi. Just throw that around. Quite a few impromptu things. So let's actually take a look at something that I'm really proud of. And I found this from another YouTuber. I'm still not in the mindset of wanting to name drop different YouTubers because I don't want to sound like, oh, hey, you're subscribed to that guy, you should subscribe to me as well. It's not my thing. You know, I'm just mostly doing this to document my different Minecraft and things going on there. But we can throw that, and it's on a half slab, and there are hoppers underneath and more chests than you can shake a stick at. So whatever you don't want, you can just throw in the corner, and there's actually 4 hoppers to make sure it doesn't get overloaded if I want to throw away more than one thing at a time. But then it's gone, but it's not gone forever. So that's the nice thing. So if I go, you know, oh, hey, let me just get rid of this thing. I don't want this or that, and accidentally throw it in there. I can go in and get it, as opposed to if you've got a cactus or lava or things of that nature, you're sort of stuck. For a long time, I was working with the redstone here, doing some basic redstoning for the lights outside, but I've abandoned that. This is just sort of a work chest. In the skeleton spawner, I ended up getting some depth strider boots, and not top tier, but it's level 2, which is nice, and it actually really helps since a lot more of this world is water, as opposed to in a standard world where, you know, you don't see a jungle in the water. And that's because, again, like I said earlier, went ahead and raised the water levels. I don't think much has changed here. Really running low on resources because I just built that beacon, and I actually had to go caving 4 or 5 times to be able to get that done with. Got our brew set up here, although I don't brew here because I don't use potions other than the potions that I use for killing mobs. So if they're skeletons, like I have at the mob farm, I'll use a splash potion of healing, and that will go ahead and kill them. Got some impromptu farms, got some cocoa beans here to make some brown dye, we got our green dye, we got our watermelons. This is just sort of a temporary road so I can get over there. I don't know if I explained, but I built this really to try to get creepers to get gunpowder because I didn't want to have to try to mine all of that. After trying that for a few days, we got an impromptu pumpkin farm because I want to use pumpkins as an alternative lighting source to torches, because the torches just scattered all over the ground isn't necessarily something that I like. But started mining a lot of this stuff out, and I've got 3 picks. This is just my working efficiency 5 Unbreaking 3, so we can do that awesome thing, and I'm so glad they haven't nerfed this, because that was one of my biggest fears when the 1.8 snapshot started coming out, is that they were going to nerf the ability to use a beacon with haste 2 and efficiency 5 to insta-mine things. I mean, this is faster, as I'm sure I've said before, and other people have said before, it's faster than even in creative mode. Of course, nowhere near as quick as using a external program, but this is a vanilla series that I don't want to do that on. So that is sort of the state of the union, the state of the address, whatever you want to call it. This is really just an update episode, because I don't have any ideas. That's the one big thing about this game, is that it's so grindy, and then once you get things that you want and you just want to sort of sit and build. I had this inspiration. I did these in 1 or 2 days, and I had the inspiration, and I loved doing it, and it was so much fun, and I haven't felt inspiration for the game for a long time, even with all the new snapshot stuff going on. I think that's a really cool thing, that they are continuing to have the game in dev, even though it's way past the in-dev days. So I was working on something here, and I just don't have the drive to do it right now. And I know that's just a Minecraft thing where it comes in waves. And I've actually been playing a lot of racing games. I got a Logitech G27 racing wheel, which is a nice racing wheel, force feedback, which I would not play a racing game without force feedback. And I know a lot of people think that force feedback is a joke in the racing community, but if you play without force feedback, what's the point of, playing like a racing sim? I've been playing a lot of Assetto Corsa and F1, things like that. And for me, having the force feedback is a really essential thing for the gameplay, because otherwise you just don't feel connected to the car. And that's a big gripe I have with a lot of racing games, is you just don't feel connected to the car at all. You feel like you're just this outside thing, and throw it one direction into a corner without having any idea how much to brake, because you just don't feel like you're connected with the car. You just don't have that feeling of being able to be in control of it, because you just don't know what an appropriate speed is. And so that's why I went with the force feedback wheel. But I'm rambling on about a thing that is not this thing. But we've got our granite and andesite and polished diorite and regular diorite, the polished and regular varieties in there. And this is really going to be the stone central, but I really don't know if I'm going to keep it, because it really does not fit into the modern theme. But I think that's the issue that I've really been having with playing the game and having inspiration to play the game, is that I don't feel like recreating this over and over again just to make a village. I want there to be different numbers of housing and shops, and not shops, but storage places, because this is really just becoming an inadequate storage area. I mean, I was just adding chests over and over again, and it was just getting to the point where I did not have the room to store things. And I don't like throwing away things like wood and cobblestone, because those are going to become useful later. But anyway, that shorter video, just wanted to do a State of the Union address, whatever you want to call it, thing. And I may talk about some things in the exploration series, because I haven't played that since whenever the last time I recorded it, which it's got to be close to a year at this point. It's a long time ago that I played that game. Not that game, but that series. And I'd be interested in doing some exploration and just doing some talkie, so I'm not just jumping around on the fence while whatever else is going on. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for the end of the episode, so I will go ahead and cue that music right now. And as we are walking off into the town, until next time, I'll see you next time.